Yo, what's the dealio, y'all? Hey, listen, man. We got a straight banger for you today, all right? We got another trade of the day. You already know what time it is, man. All right. In today's video, we smacked Google, all right? This is becoming one of my favorite stocks to play. Google and a couple others, but we smacked Google today. All right, I'm gonna break it all down for you guys and let you know how we did it. I hit 22%. You know, I always say percentages is more important than a dollar amount. All right, but it was 140 bucks. I went real light today as well, and so basically I turned like $600 into 800 something dollars. All right, so I'm gonna break it down for you and let you know. But like I always say, if you go to the bank and you give the teller or the banker $1,000 and you like, yo, give me a 20% return on my money in 5 minutes, they cannot do it. All right. We're getting the best returns on the planet every single day within minutes. All right. So if you're not in the Discord, make sure you join the Discord so you can trade with us next week. All right. So without further ado, man, we going to get into the trade of the day and I'm going to break it all down for you guys. All right. Oh, yeah. As you can see right here, we went 100% from the field again today. All right, we only signaled 2 trades today. Mine was 22%. I don't know exactly what Marcel's was. I think it was like 10-12% or something like that, but we went 100% again. Our weekly win rate is 88%. All right, if you want to get in a Discord where the win rate is very high, then be sure to join us. All right, so with that being said, let's get it. All right, as you can see right here, we got Google. And as you can see, that date up top is 4/25. All right, we don't be fabricating nothing over here. All right, so I made $140.60. And as you can see at the bottom right there, that is, I got in a trade at 9:45. What does that mean? That means that was a new 15-minute candle. Okay, 9:45 and 46 seconds. So I waited 46 seconds for the new candle to show me what was going on. And that's exactly what I did. And then I got out 4 minutes later. All right, I only got 3 contracts, $200 each contract, a little over 600 bucks. All right, so and I was in a trade for 4 minutes, and then I sold for 255 for a profit of 140. All right, so we're gonna go to the charts, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly what we did. All right, so we got Google right here. Okay, now let me break this down for y'all real quick. Yesterday, Google had earnings, okay? So as you can see right here, after market, Google shot up all the way to, it shot all the way up to 169, wick down, came down a little bit. And then in pre-market, it was up here, and then it came down and it opened up right here, all right? So what do we have right here, y'all? So right here, we have something called a gap up, all right? So it came up here, and then it opened right here, okay? So we gapped up overnight off of earnings, okay? This is the critical part. We gapped up off of earnings, all right? This was an earnings situation. So I saw that, and I was like, all right, if we break below right here, this level right here, I had it marked out. This is where I will enter into a trade, all right? Literally to the T. If we go into the Discord, I want to show y'all. What's this say right here? What's this level? 164, 160. This right here is 164.01. All right. If we go right here and we go to the watch list, all right. I said Google support is 164.09. All right. Boom. 164.09. All right. 01, 09. It really just depends on what you're looking at. So, and this is on a 15-minute time frame. So the first 15-minute candle, what did it do? It came up here, went up, tried to go up, rejected off this 21 EMA, started to come below the VWAP right here. All right. Now, as you can see, if we zoom in, it literally broke right below it. Okay. It closed at 163.98. All right. That's where it closed at. Okay, but it was very close. And sometimes what happens is when a stock closes right at support line, what happens is it could go back to the upside, right? They could fake you out. But what I've also seen is it close at support level or right above support level, and then you don't get your entry and then it'll sink down, right? So because we were already filling a gap, I took that and I said, most likely we're going to come lower, right? We're going to come lower. So it closed right here. Like I said, I waited 45 seconds to see what it did, and then I took my entry right here, okay? My stop loss was going to be right above the VWAP, right? So my stop loss was going to be right above the VWAP. So let me show you guys where my entry was at on here. My entry was on this candle right here, right? I took my entry right here, all right? Took my entry right here, all right? Literally right there, all right? So that's where I took my entry at, entry. Okay. Now, on a new candle that broke below support level, I waited 15 minutes and literally I got in. I was down like 2-3%, down like 2-3%. It was chilling for a second. And then what we start seeing it happen, boom, 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 boom. It start bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. And then we started getting a little nice little sell-off, okay? Now, as you can see right here, there is a level right here, right? So I'm going to want to show you guys that there's a level right here. All right. Now, I was telling myself in my mind, I said, all right, if it gets right here and I don't see it going any lower, I'm going to get out because it could bounce from right here and then go to the upside because as you can see, we're pretty green on the day, right? So I saw it coming down here. I was up about 24%. And what did I do? I took my profits, all right? I took my profits. So I'm going to go right here where this level was at. Right there is where I exited. And I took my profits, all right? And that was a 22% trade, all right? 22% trade. All right, simple as that. One candle. This was a snipe. It was below support. It broke below support. We got a gap to fill, okay? And then a new candle opened up. It didn't reverse or anything like that. It was right here, honoring that level right there, okay? So I got in, boom, got out, 4 minutes, done. Very simple, very clean trade, and so many people in the Discord caught it. All right. 22% trade. Gap down, and you see we came down later. So right here, you see what happened? It went back up. That's why I got out, right? I'm not greedy. I could have stayed in a little bit longer, but I am not a greedy trader. All right? When I'm seeing profit and I'm in there, I'm going to take that profit. All right? It reversed right back up here. Then it came back down a little bit lower. Then we came down a little bit lower. We're still not fully done filling the gap, but because right now we got some bullish sentiment in the market, it's going right back up. Y'all get what I'm saying? So that's literally how we smacked Google today for 140 bucks for me personally, but it was a 22% trade. I want to emphasize the 22% because if I invest $600 or it was 208, right? 208 times 3 contracts is 624, all right? If I invest 624 and I made 140, that means that if I would have invested 1,200 and got 6 contracts, I would have made like 290, right? Basically double, almost $300. If I would have invested $2,000, I would have made $400, right? This is how powerful stock options is. But on Fridays, I like to go light. I like to make sure we good, we chilling, and I'm not giving my profits back to the market. That's why I go light on Fridays for sure, for sure. All right, I don't want to be too overzealous because we got 0 data expirations, all right? 0 data expirations. So I don't want to be doing too much, trying to be too greedy on Fridays and then giving my money back to the market, because the worst feeling is having a good week and then Friday you give all your profits back to the market and now you mad and now you can't even trade the next day and you got to wait until Monday and you got to think about all your decisions and the mistakes that you made. That's the worst feeling ever. All right. So with that being said, y'all, that's how we smack Google. Now, tomorrow I got something very special for you guys, so be sure that you're tuning in to the video that I drop tomorrow, all right? Like I always say, make sure you get out of your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, all right? And I always say, the more you study, the less you worry, all right? I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Peace.